Hey guys, it's Aubrey. Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't posted in like 7 or 8 months, but that's besides the point. I'm back now. So today we're going to be talking about tips for going into high school, tips for going into 8th grade to 9th grade, because I know I was watching a bunch of these videos. I had a bunch of questions about going into high school. So I thought I would just answer some things and then I would talk about some things that I experienced. So let's get right into it. You looking good, girl. Go, 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 get 'em, girl. Go, 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 hit 'em, girl. Go, 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 go. Alright, I have all my stuff on my iPad that I'm going to talk about. So the first thing I have on here is friends. I heard a lot of people say that you're not going to be with your same friend group. You're not going to talk to the same people that you used to talk to. Or you're not going to have a big circle of friends. I didn't experience a lot of that, but I did experience where I used to talk to a lot of people in 8th grade and I don't talk to them as much now. Like, we're still friends, but I don't talk to them as much as I used to in 8th grade because you don't see them as much. And then also you will see who your true friends are. Not everybody's your friend. Not everybody's gonna be ride or die for you. So you just kind of have to figure that out throughout it and see which friends you need to keep and see which friends you need to lose. Also with friends, I would say that if you have a good relationship with your friend group now, you won't separate. But if you do not and you got in a lot of fights in middle school, you probably are going to separate in high school just because people change, people are different, people aren't the same as they used to be back in middle school. Okay, second thing I have on my list is don't start unnecessary drama. A lot of things in high school, they start drama over little things. Don't let little stuff get to you. Don't let it affect your day. Don't let it affect how your rest of your school year is. Don't let it affect your friendships that you have, because your friendships are probably one of the most important things that you will have in high school. So don't let unnecessary drama with people mess that up, you know. And so if you just let things roll off your back, you don't let it bother you, then you're going to have a way better high school experience than just letting every single little thing bother you. And I'll say that from experience because I used to let every single little thing bother me, and it used to make me not have good days at school. It used to make me mad. So learning to let that roll off your back, learning to let that go, that'll definitely help. And it definitely helps you to become a more rounded out person overall. Also, with don't start unnecessary drama, having friends, you're gonna have drama either way, but you have to learn how to handle it and not let a little thing drag out throughout a long period of time, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, y'all are still gonna be friends. At the end of the day, y'all known each other for a long time. So don't let that little stuff drag out longer than it should. All right, the third thing that I have on my list is take classes more serious. In middle school, your classes don't really count towards your transcript, towards your GPA, unless you take like honors classes in 8th grade or something. But in high school, every class counts. So if you do not take your classes serious, it can definitely hurt you in the long run, because if you are messing up your grades in 9th grade, you're probably going to have to pay back for it in your 12th grade year when you're trying to apply for colleges and trying to get stuff like that. So if you go ahead and try to do good on your grades in 9th grade and have good grades throughout that whole year, then you're going to do much better through your high school career with your classes. The fourth thing that I have on my list kind of goes with the third thing. Be prepared for work to be harder. Definitely, if you have honors classes, if you're in those harder classes, the work is definitely going to be harder for you. It's not going to be like this middle school work, but it's not hard to the point where you cannot do it. It's hard to the point where it's a lot more work. It's a lot more effort that you have to do during your classes. It's not going to be an easy breeze, just an easy little assignment. Sometimes the assignments have a lot more effort, have a lot more in depth that you have to do. The fifth thing that I have on my list is it's not as bad as it sounds. When I was looking at these videos going into high school, the videos made it look very bad, very scary, and very hard. Like, I was scared going into my first day of high school. But when I got there, it was not bad. Like, it was just a normal day at school. Like, I've been going here for forever. It's not bad. They tell you everything to do. it's not that bad. Don't be nervous. Don't be shaking in your boots because it was really not that bad. It was really not that bad. It was pretty simple. It's pretty easy. And it gets easier throughout the year because you become more familiar with the place that you're at. You become more familiar with the people that you're with. So it's really not as bad as it sounds or looks. The sixth thing I have on my list is do not skip your classes. This is a big thing because they're probably going to catch you either way, and then you're going to have either ISS or lunch detention, and that's really just a waste of your time and everybody else's time too. So it would just be best to stay in your classes because it's just not going to help anything for you to be skipping your classes. The seventh thing I have on my list is balance your time. This is probably the most important thing on the list that I'm talking about today because if you do not balance your time, then you are not gonna be able to be successful in your high school career. Because if you can't balance your classes, you're studying, if you're in sports, if you're in anything else, if you can't balance it, then you're not gonna be able to have everything lined up correctly. Balancing your time would make it a lot more easy for you to be more organized. Because if you're not organized, you're going to definitely have a hard time in high school if you don't have all your stuff lined up, if you don't know what you're doing, like with all your assignments, when your assignments need to be turned in, when everything else needs to be turned in, because that's a part of balancing your time as well. That's not going to go well for you if you don't know when your assignments are need to be turned in, because they will take points off if you're late or if it's overdue. They will take points off for that, and that can harm your grade, definitely. In the long run, definitely for semester grades as well. The eighth thing that I have on my list is don't give in to peer pressure. I know everybody's heard this. It's just a repeated saying, don't give in to peer pressure. But that is very important because if you give in to peer pressure, you will become a person you probably don't even know. You will change drastically. And don't give in to something if you don't feel comfortable doing it, if you don't want to do it. And if you just don't see yourself becoming this type of person, don't let somebody else tell you what you need to be, because at the end of the day, you're the only person that knows what you need to be and what you need to be doing. So don't let anybody else tell you what you need to be doing or what you need to be, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's you, what you want to do. Also, with peer pressure, just because you are doing something doesn't mean somebody else needs to do it. So you don't need to put something that you have that works well for yourself on somebody else, because they might not like that thing. It might not work for them. It might not work for their family dynamic, because everybody is different. Everybody has changes in their life, and everything that works for you will not work for them. So everybody has their own preferences about what they want to do, what they have going on in their life. So don't try to control somebody else and try to choose what they need to do. Ninth thing that I have on my list is just because you are having a bad day, just because you're having a hard time in your life, do your best not to put it on somebody else and make them have a bad day just because you're having one. Don't try to be mean to that person. Don't try to be anything to that person, because you don't know what they're going on in their life as well, and that can really just take a toll on somebody's mental health. Another thing is always try to be nice to everyone, because you don't know what they have going in their life. You don't know what's going on at home. Anything could be happening at home and you don't know. You don't know their family dynamic. So if you don't know what's going on, don't try to be mean to that person. Don't try to be anything to that person. Try to be nice to that person, if anything, because you never know what's going on. That was the end of the list, guys. I hope y'all really enjoyed it, and I hope I really will help some of y'all going into high school. And I know I'm not the typical person to be talking about it because I'm just in the ninth grade myself, but I hope that really helped some of y'all, and I hope y'all really enjoyed it. So I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye.